Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another episode of Woman to Women. Now, I done recorded like 5 videos talking about this one particular thing, but I think I'm gonna hold off on it. I try my best to talk about things that everybody can have a 2 cents in. So, and I know that's one of the situations that everybody can't or everybody think they can, and it could get pretty ugly. So I'm gonna leave that one alone for right now. But anyway, I'm gonna talk about this thing that people are talking about right now, and they're talking about the pretty privilege. You know, having a cute face, being all cute and attractive comes with privilege. Let's talk about that. Now, I think everyone, I don't know, because I've heard some pretty people point out some things about them that they consider ugly or unattractive. So we're not talking about like having a self-esteem issue, because that kind of blinds people. But how many can say that maybe a family member or a sibling had like maybe a little more privileges, like whether it be reputation wise in school or acceptance in school because they were prettier, faster, stronger, the athletic one? Like, let's really talk about this. Like, let's have a real conversation. Like, do you see the biasness in your family? Like, is there somebody who, no matter what they do, they're accepted because they're cute and they're pretty? Because I know that I've seen some situations right before my very eyes. Now, the only thing is, I'm looking at them like, bruh, one ain't prettier than the other. But I think because they're considered cute or the fun one, that they got a little more privileges. But let's be real here. Do you see it? Do you see it in social media? Do you see it in your real life, your job, your career? Like, where do you see it at? How often do you see it? How do you acknowledge it, or how do you accept it? Are you one of the ones that you feel like someone, because I think this is the issue with a lot of these things, is just like white privilege. Like, you don't really recognize it because it's your norm. But let's talk about it though. Me personally, I do not consider myself overly attractive. Like, wow, she's pretty, she's hot. I think I look decent. I think I am acceptable. So I know personally, I don't think there's much I got away with or were given well, I don't know. I just thought about a situation where I had a season where I was really well put together, and I do think in that season people were treating me differently. Like, I had got down to like 140 pounds. I had clothes and style. My hair was always done. I do believe I was being treated a little differently then than I do now. I think now I feel the most invisible. Like, marriage, kids later, stay-at-home mom, it's just like, ugh, like, it's just sharp. Like, I do feel like that now. But how do you guys feel? Like, do you guys witness this? We all know also there's like the light skin, dark skin thing that's really, really bad out there. Like, and it's really evident. Now, I think Chris Brown or someone came forth and was like, they like light skinned chicks or exotic chicks. And people kind of went in. And now for me, I'm like, I can't get mad at somebody's preference. Like, if you prefer this type of chick or this chick is attracted to you, I'm talking about genuinely being mistreated because you don't look like somebody else. That's the problem. Because you're not light enough. You don't have exotic eyes and stuff. Like, this is something my husband, he talk about all the time, because my ex had like color eyes. He was like, that's all he got. Literally, that was all he had. And, you know, I sort of kind of agree to a certain extent. Like, I think that did kind of get him way more attention than what he deserved or what people actually knew about him. But I also feel like there's this judgmental thing where we assume that people like with color eyes or like hazel eyes or something are stuck up or rude or they're considered exotic because their eye colors, you know, but they're black. Like, there's a lot that goes into that. So, you know, I can kind of understand both sides. I definitely feel like in Hollywood and the world of hip hop and all this stuff that there's a certain privilege that comes along with being lighter and long hair and a banging body, that average Joe Blow won't get that type of attention, which is why a lot of people was behind Lizzo. I think that's her name. Because she wasn't average size and she was brown skin. But I also can tell you that there's a difference between being considered dark skin and brown skin. Like, you would think like, oh, hey brother, like we're over here in this corner. No, it's literally like a beginning, a end, a middle. I'm sorry, that was Jace. But like, light skin is here. If you're brown, you're here. And then if you're dark skin, you're here. That's very evident and visible. Me personally, because you may say, okay, Shar, do you not go off attractiveness like when you're choosing your spouse or you're dating? Absolutely. But I can say that I do not limit my choice of dating or who I'm dealing with because of what they look like. Like, my old thing was everybody deserves opportunity. Now, whether you want to take a chance with them, that's your business. But that goes also with popularity when you think about, like, there's, matter of fact, perfect example. There was an incident that just took place. And it was pretty ugly and pretty nasty and pretty embarrassing. But I truly wholeheartedly believe that because of who was involved, that it was just, oh, that's just what it is. But I can assure you that if it was me or anybody else, I would have got dogged out. I would have got talked about, subliminal statuses and everything. And it's like, that's crazy because based on your popularity, you can get away with stuff that a normal person could not. And the prime example is like celebrity and criminal records. Like, think about the things that celebrities do that they get away with because of who they are and because what they mean to everybody else, like the R. Kelly situation. Like, it's crazy as how many women ignorantly, openly said he ain't got no problem with him. And it's like, are you serious? Like, are you serious? Or, I'm not giving up his music. And you know what? It comes down, and y'all know I'm a Christian, so I got to bring it to this. But it goes back to sin and living holy. I don't want to give up this. You know, I'm not ready to give it this. And because I'm not ready, I don't feel like I should. I want to continuously doing this sin because I like it, because it makes me feel good, whatever the sin may be. And I feel like the same way with that situation. It's like, oh, his music is so amazing, there's nobody like him, I don't want to give it up. And it's just like, obedience is greater than sacrifice. But that's not the mindset of the world. So it's like, whatever. But again, how do you feel about pretty privilege? Like, we know IG and I see in the natural hair community, whether people want to admit to it or not, they may just say, no, I'm doing my thing and I got content. And no. I've seen people start from 0 and go to like 100K in a week. Not by will, not by might, but just because they're pretty and their hair was long. And it's interesting because whether people admit to it or not, if y'all want to be real and keep it 100, a lot of people start their base on the fact that their hair is long, and people want to know how did they get their hair that long, not even knowing anything about their history, how they grew their hair, what they use. Now, obviously, there are some who, you know, they start short and then their hair grew over time and then they have their platform. But we know of a lot of people right here on YouTube that pretty face, pretty hair, somewhat of a privileged lifestyle where you didn't even have to put much effort, like you kind of already had it going on and you just decided to put it on camera and then you blew up. Whereas those who are maybe plus size or darker skin or brown skin complexion, or their hair won't necessarily be popular texture, they had to work a little bit harder to get to where they are. Which is why I just say, you know, for myself, I just can't limit myself to just natural hair content. I can't do that because I feel like that's a black hole. And like I said, I know I look really average, may even be ugly to somebody, really plain. My hair ain't all that, you know, like it's just hair. My hair doesn't grow fast. Like it doesn't have the most perfect curl pattern or wave. Like these are things that people gravitate towards naturally. And even those who are critical of these things and may be aware, your eyes lead you. So even in your heart and your mind, you're just like, man, I can't learn nothing from this person. But you'll find yourself, well, I like them. They're cute. So I'm going to watch them. And I've done it. Like, I've just watched people just go, like, they're pretty. And they're nice to look at. Especially, you know, little girls that play in their makeup and stuff. Like, they're cute. And it's just interesting. But somebody like me, if I were to sit here and play in makeup, like, my face is plain. I don't know how to do makeup. Like, you're not going to want to watch that. And somebody may say that has absolutely nothing to do with complexion and the pretty privilege. But there's also the pretty ugly privilege. Like, there's a young lady on YouTube who blew up because her before and after is that bad. Now, what I don't like and what happened with her was, I think she said someone on Instagram attacked her and was like, she's ugly. She represents dark skins in a negative manner. Her regular self now, because she posted a picture of her regular self, which I'm like, duh, that's the whole point of her showing you, you know, like a plain canvas, like what you start off with, what God gave you, and then adding the makeup and stuff. Now, a lot of people will argue that, bruh, that's catfish. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't, like, if I'm gonna be real and be transparent, I do feel like there's a fine line between like make over and make new. Like, nah, you a new person. And that was kind of like how people was coming at K Michelle, like, yo, you lighten your skin, your face no longer looks the same, you got a different body, like you're a new person. And you know, there's always that, well, she looked better. She's, you know, she always been pretty, which I don't argue that at all. Like, I think K Michelle has always been pretty and beautiful to me from her very first days of being on 106 & Park. Like, she's always been pretty. I don't think she had to do what she did. And the same thing with Kim, Lil' Kim. She did not have to do, and that's the crazy part. Because you got this stigma that's out there, and then you got people own mindsets getting in the way, and it's like, bruh, do you know if Kim, because think about this. This is another reason why I love Mary J. Blige, is because she is true to her skin complexion. She ain't trying to be lighter for you, and you. She just do her. She do her to the fullest, and I love it. And I feel like Lil' Kim could have did the same exact thing, like with her dark skin complexion and her shape. She could have been like, bam, yeah, representing for the dark skinned ladies. She could have easily crossed over that line without touching her body and putting fillers all in her cheeks and trying to look like something that she's not. She easily could have done it. Easily. But people just, they get money, they decide, I don't like who I was. And sometimes they can say, I never liked who I was. The money just made it easier for me to change it. So, your opinions, your thoughts. Pretty privilege? Does it exist? I think so. Have you been treated bad or differently because you weren't up to expectations? Have you been stood up on a date? Like, have somebody dumped you because in person you didn't match your, like, I want to hear it all. Like, does anybody have any stories or anything they got going on? Is there any family members that you feel like, that's light-skinned cousin, they get treated differently, or they the ones with the money, they got the name brand cars and stuff? Like, do you witness this? Do you see this on a regular basis? Talk to me in the comment section. I love you guys. God bless. Take care. Bye.